watching high school baseball and softball with Big Z Sports and WJER Radio in partnership with Claxon Communications. This broadcast was proudly sponsored by Dover Break, your local Wendy's restaurants, Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, Kemp Insurance, the ECO Educational Service Center, T-County Boxing Academy, and Dumont's. Special thanks to our scoreboard sponsor, your local McDonald's restaurants, and to Subway, sponsor of the WJER Subway Player of the Game. For unmatched high school sports coverage, follow Big Z Sports with WJER, the sports voice of the Valley.
Good Saturday, and welcome to Big Time Sports and Big Z Network's continuing coverage of baseball right here on your home for the best coverage of high school baseball and softball all throughout the course of the season. I'm Bill Morgan along with the coach Phil Tidrick. It is the Gundy Days baseball game, and while we say baseball game, Phil, oh, by the way, there's softball, there's boys tennis, there's track and field. It is a busy day today here at Tuscarora Park.
You know, it sure is, and this is something that was started, I'd say probably now in about its 30th year. It started back when I was the baseball coach here at New Philadelphia, and we started it, I think, in 95. We ran it a little bit different. We had baseball. We had 3 teams come in, and softball, I think, had the same thing. And then we played. Everybody played, and we ended up giving trophies to the winner and trophies to the runner-up as well. So, but it coincided with the pancakes of the Quaker Club over to Tuscarora Park Pavilion, and the big track meet that's going on, and and it's just a lovely day for high school athletics in New Philadelphia City Schools in the city of New Philadelphia as well.
Well, it's a lovely day for athletics. Whether or not it's a lovely day weather-wise, I mean, that's debatable, my friend.
I didn't throw that out there because you know me and cold weather. So, and it says, well, it's in the 40s or something, or the low 50s. Well, you know what? With that wind blowing on us, it feels like it's about 30.
Yeah, it is not warm, that is for sure. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley, we'll tell you about the strengths of both these teams visiting Claymont and New Philadelphia. That's next on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
This is Christine from Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, your trained comfort specialist located in downtown Dover. In the dead of winter or the dog days of summer, we're here for you 24/7 with friendly, personal attention and honest, affordable service. And right now, our customers will receive a free duct cleaning with a qualifying system. Call me for details. So if you've been considering installing a new HVAC system, now is the time to act. Call me, Christine, at 330-343-5511. Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, your comfort on call since 1981.
This is Nathan Kemp with Kemp Insurance. Contact us today for all your auto, home, farm, and commercial insurance needs. We're proud to have been your local hometown agents for over 35 years and look forward to helping you see the difference local agents can make for you. Kemp Insurance on East High Avenue in New Philadelphia.
This is Don Kemp with Kemp Insurance. Whether it's repair work from a fender bender, the after effects of a powerful storm, or a life-changing moment like a house fire, Kemp Insurance is here to provide unmatched customer service. Kemp Insurance, your local hometown agents for over 35 years.
Family owned and operated for more than 50 years, Dover Brake specializes in sales and service of everything involving automotive and heavy-duty brakes, along with a vast selection of truck parts and accessories. They also offer alignment, custom U-bolt bending, industrial sandblasting, bonding, and more. And now, you can find the parts you're searching for with a complete in-store inventory updated regularly at DoverBrakeInc.com. Safely shop and pay online and have your purchase delivered or pick it up at Dover Brake, Route 250 in Strasburg, online at DoverBrakeInc.com.
H&M Collision is conveniently located just off the boulevard in Dover and invites you to experience their unmatched customer service the next time you're in need of collision repair. H&M Collision will offer the highest standards in the industry using state-of-the-art equipment to complete each repair by the book, never compromising on quality and keeping your safety and satisfaction their top priority. When you need premium auto body services, trust H&M Collision or you're treated like family.
Everyone stop what you're doing and listen up. Wendy's always crafts their hamburgers with fresh beef. That's just burger basics, people. The result? hot and juicy hamburgers made fresh for you, not waiting for you. It's just like they say, the perfect hamburger waits for no one. 'Cause freshness doesn't do waiting. When it's made fresh just for you, gotta be Wendy's.
Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Not available in Hawaii.
Commercial building owners, how well do you keep your roof maintained? At Rightmark Roofing, we offer our Bullseye Maintenance Program to building owners to help keep your roof healthy. This includes our 21-point inspection that examines all the essential areas of your roof that require year-round maintenance, a detailed report on the health and status of your roof, priority service that moves you to the front of the line, and discounts that reduce the risk of expensive repairs. Give us a call at 330-275-0088 or visit our website at rightmarkroofing.com to learn more.
The high school baseball pregame show continuing on the Big Z Sports Network along with the sports voice of the Valley. I'm Bill Morgan with the coach Phil Tidbrick. Coming up after the game this afternoon, Coach and I will name a Subway player of the game. And Subway has been sponsoring our Player of the Game award for many, many years. Subway, find your fresh. When we look at this New Philadelphia baseball team, Coach, I know you saw them one time earlier in the year. They are having a good campaign under eighth-year head coach Tyler Weisel coming into this non-conference matchup today at 10-2.
Yeah, they really have, Bill. And you know, you just made a statement right there that eighth-year head coach. I didn't realize Coach Weisel had been here that long. Very successful, came from a very successful program up at Canton Central Catholic, and it has been doing a great job here for the Quakers. I know that back-to-back regional appearances the last 2 years, that's pretty impressive in itself. And you know, he's got some good athletes, you know, and he develops his players, and they play the game the right way, you know, and that's really all you can ask when you're a fan that's watching, that they play the game the right way. So, you know, we expect to see that. Doesn't surprise me. It might surprise me a little bit that they're 10-2, to be honest. But I think the kids have all stepped up. But you know, it's like anything else. You know, success breeds success.
And, Coach, when you talk about an opportunity like the Quakers have done 2 out of the last 3 years and in back-to-back years going to the Sweet 16, you know how challenging that can be, having played baseball here and having been the head baseball coach here.
Yeah, it's very difficult. And, you know, I think in however many years, you know, we got to the regional tournament twice. And, you know, it just, you know, it's a real joy to see the kids, you know, get themselves into that position where they're playing, where there's only 16 teams left in the state of Ohio playing the sport that they're playing. I think that's pretty amazing, to be honest.
On the opposite side of the diamond, the Claymont Mustangs. They are being led by head coach Logan Addison. And after a timeout on our pregame show, we'll come back and talk a little Mustang baseball. You're watching on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
Dumont Sporting Goods in Dover and Canton has just what you're looking for, so your athlete has the best gear for the sports they play. Dumont's has a large apparel selection and can handle your customized screen printing as well as embroidery for your team or business. For sporting goods and for all your apparel needs, Dumont Sporting Goods in Dover and Canton has everything you want to play and look your best.
Big moments are coming. Are you ready? If you need sponsor banners, graduation programs, or yard sale signs, the East Central Ohio Print Center has you covered. Visit ecoprintcenter.org. And if you've got a new driver in the house, East Central Ohio ESC offers flexible driver's education with in-car training and online options. Scholarships are available from signs to steering wheels. The East Central Ohio Educational Service Center is here to help. Find out more today online at ecoesc.org.
Join us at Keim Home Center in Charm for Customer Appreciation Days, April 7th through 12th. We're celebrating our customers all week long with giveaways, gift card drawings, woodworking demonstrations, and refreshments. Save 10% on appliances, lawn and garden tools, housewares, and so much more. Don't miss our free pancake and sausage breakfast Friday and Saturday morning. Visit KeimHome.com or follow us on Facebook for more details. We'll see you April 7th through 12th for Customer Appreciation Days at Keim Home Center in Charm.
Hi, I'm Zach Motice with the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. For all your auto, home, farm, and business insurance needs, contact our team at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency or stop in and see us at one of our 3 locations in downtown New Philadelphia, Sugar Creek, or in Strasburg, providing excellent service to the Tuscarawas Valley since 1885. Everyone here at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency would like to wish all area athletes good luck this season.
High school baseball on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley, being brought to you by great sponsors from all across the area, along with McDonald's, Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, Nathan and Don Kemp at Kemp Insurance, and Dover Brake. And, Coach, while anybody from our area, whether it's Claymont, whether it's New Philly, or any of the other high schools in our area, very familiar with the sometimes challenging weather conditions that spring sports can bring, I guess the question becomes, when you're playing baseball, what are some of the specific challenges the Mustangs in the visiting dugout or the Quakers in the home dugout face when the weather is as chilly as it is this afternoon?
Well, you know, there should be, to me, a whole lot of packs of hand warmers down there as well. I know I've got 2 in my pocket, and you know, you got to deal with the elements. You know, it's Ohio. You know, it's the spring. You're going to get crappy weather. It could be 90 degrees yesterday, which it wasn't 90, but it was warm yesterday.
It was in the 70s,
and it's going to be in the mid to upper 60s tomorrow, and then 80s next week. So you know, that's just kind of the way that it goes, you know, with everything, Bill, and you learn to deal with it. You just got to say, hey, well, both teams are. You know, you're going to go out and you're going to whine around because it's cold. Or you're just going to go out and say, hey, it don't matter what the weather is, we got to go play.
And coming up in a couple of minutes, we're going to continue on with the pregame show. Check the starting lineup for the Mustangs and check the starting lineups for the Quakers as well. It's all on the way when the pregame show rolls on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
For our national anthem.
The Eat Fresh Refresh just won't stop. Now Subway is refreshing their catering with easy order platters and box meals perfect for any occasion. Start with sandwich or wrap platters. They're loaded with craveable crowd pleasers to feed your crew without all the work. Or try individually packaged box meals featuring a tasty 6-inch sub, footlong, or wrap, plus chips and a freshly baked cookie. When you have a group to feed, make it fun, delicious, and visit Subway.com to place your catering order. Advance notice may be required.
This is Christine from Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, your trained comfort specialist located in downtown Dover. In the dead of winter or the dog days of summer, we're here for you 24/7 with friendly, personal attention and honest, affordable service. And right now, our customers will receive a free duct cleaning with a qualifying system. Call me for details. So if you've been considering installing a new HVAC system, now is the time to act. Call me, Christine, at 330-343-5511. Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, your comfort on call since 1981.
This is Nathan Kemp with Kemp Insurance. Contact us today for all your auto, home, farm, and commercial insurance needs. We're proud to have been your local hometown agents for over 35 years and look forward to helping you see the difference local agents can make for you. Kemp Insurance on East High Avenue in New Philadelphia.
This is Don Kemp with Kemp Insurance. Whether it's repair work from a fender bender, the after effects of a powerful storm, or a life-changing moment like a house fire, Kemp Insurance is here to provide unmatched customer service. Kemp Insurance, your local hometown agents for over 35 years.
Family owned and operated for more than 50 years, Dover Brake specializes in sales and service of everything involving automotive and heavy-duty brakes, along with a vast selection of truck parts and accessories. They also offer alignment, custom U-bolt bending, industrial sandblasting, bonding, and more. And now, you can find the parts you're searching for with a complete in-store inventory updated regularly at DoverBrakeInc.com. Safely shop and pay online and have your purchase delivered, or pick it up at Dover Brake, Route 250 in Strasburg, online at DoverBrakeInc.com.
If you're watching live on our YouTube side of the story or on WJER.com/videos, you're thinking, wait a second, it's basically noon and this game hasn't. Well, the weather provided some, without a question, challenges. So originally scheduled to start at 11, first pitch going to be around noon, and that was because of the weather conditions a little bit earlier on. Our broadcast today being brought to you by great sponsors all across the area, including H&M Collision, along with Dover Brake, Wendy's, and T-County Boxing. And by the way, a big congratulations to Sugar Dre Donovan, a big victory in his most recent contest, allowing him to grab a bantamweight belt. So congratulations to Sugar Dre and all of the folks at T-County Boxing. We talk about this Claymont baseball team. They come over to Tuscarora Park with a record of 6-10 on the season. Their head coach, Logan Addison, had a chance to talk briefly with Coach Addison ahead of today's contest. And certainly with this being a non-conference affair for both teams, the Quakers and Claymont, you may not necessarily see their best pitchers, which is no knock at all on the young men that you will see today, but everybody's well aware when it comes to high school baseball or softball, it's an opportunity for both of the teams to get some of their other pitchers in, because in conference or league action, you will throw your best pitchers. Normally, you're having 2 league games per week. Mason Catarina getting the start on the hill, one of 5 Quaker seniors being honored here today on Senior Day. So certainly when you look at these players like Mason, Matthew Miser, Keaton Fossil, Carson Long, and Max Steele. So they have certainly done some very impressive things during their careers, both individually and as.
Let's play ball.
So Catarina finishing his warm-ups. For the Quakers defensively today, it'll be Seth Bieber at third base. Kainati at short. Playing second base, Braylon McBride. Correction, Braylon will be at shortstop today. Meanwhile, it'll be Kainati at second. Keaton Fossil playing at first base. The freshman catcher, Jack Range, behind the plate, catching Mason Catarina. And the outfield for the Quakers from left to right, Carson Long, along with Max Steele, and Owen Courtney in right. As Coach and I were mentioning, certainly a chilly day, and although this time of the year in Ohio, really no surprise, because generally speaking, you don't know what you're getting from day to day. And Catarina with his final warm-up pitch, and Range fires the ball down to second. And we're just about ready to get underway. Leading things off for the Mustangs and head coach Logan Addison, the catcher Ethan Fair. Fair hits it from the right side of the plate. Mason Catarina, the pitcher for the Quakers. Mason, defensively, normally the starting shortstop for the black and red. The first pitch of the afternoon bounces in front of the plate for a ball.
Wonder how those baseballs are going to hold up with this block backstop. That's something new, and they're working on it. I think when it's all said and done, it's going to be a very nice facility. A lot nicer than when I played and coached here. I know that.
The 1-0 pitch, a swing and a miss by Fair. Outfielders essentially straight away as this game gets underway. The 1-1 pitch called strike on the inside corner. Down the left field and right field lines, 290 feet to the outfield fence. The power alleys, 327, 350 to straightaway center field. 1-2 the count. Katarina ready, and the pitch. A breaking ball. And hits Fair, so Fair will reach. And boy, I think that ball bounced off of Fair and hit our home plate umpire. He takes the mask off and he's walking around, and Tyler Weisel goes out to check on him. So Fair becomes a leadoff runner. And that'll bring the center fielder for Claymont to the plate, Connor Hillier. Katarina takes a glance at the runner at first. First pitch inside for a ball. Mason for the first time this afternoon, and I understand it's only the second batter, still the first time from the stretch. That ball popped up back behind second base. Backpedaling is Braylon McBride to make the catch for the first out of the first inning for the Mustangs. That'll bring Braylon Mullen to the plate. Braylon, the second baseman for the team from 922 Country.
Second baseman, number 11, Braylon Mullen.
1 on, 1 out, top of the first. That ball fouled straight back to the netting behind home plate. And, Coach, I don't know if you've been over for any of the games so far, but there is no backstop behind home plate anymore. It's now the wall that is brick and then netting that goes up where the backstop was. The next pitch, a beautiful breaking ball.
Yeah, I think that, Bill, that like I said, it's very, very nice. When enough people show their gratitude, and we can end up with the thing that's, when you can get the infield turfed and everything. You've got a new outfield fence, you got a new backstop and everything. You're going to have a screen down the right field line because of the RTY has kitty rides coming in that particular area. So we have to protect all of those people, and it's going to be very, very nice.
So Mullen reaching on a fly ball that fell in down the left field line. Mustangs with runners at first and second. That ball fouled out of play first base side and hits off the top of the concession stand. Nolan McMorrow, the shortstop for Claymont.
Wonder if they have any hot chocolate down there.
Now that, along with your hot little packets that you keep for your hands, that ball popped up high on the infield. The third baseman, Seth Bieber, has that fall in, but that falls into the categorization of the infield fly rule, so the batter automatically out. 2 outs and 2 on now for the visiting Mustangs.
Well, that was a good thing there was an infield fly rule, because I'm not sure our guys had any idea where that ball was at.
Number 30, Jackson Jinks.
That'll bring Jackson Jinks to the plate. And, Coach, for hardcore baseball fans, they don't need this, but explain the infield fly rule and what exactly happens and what it means.
Infield fly rule means that the batter hits a pop-up with runners on first and second base with less than 2 outs. And that means the batter is automatically out. Runners advance at their own risk. And obviously the ball was hit right there at shortstop, right in the baseline. So, the runner was not going to try. The runner was not going to try to go ahead and make that deal. But, you see guys now that'll drop it on purpose and try to get people to run and things like that. But, that's just one of the rules that they come up with baseball that has served it very well.
There's a roller. Going to be fielded by Bieber. Fires on to first just in time to retired Jackson Jinks and the Mustangs in the top of the first inning. After a half inning of play, Claymont scoreless and New Philadelphia coming to bat on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
H&M Collision is conveniently located just off the boulevard in Dover and invites you to experience their unmatched customer service the next time you're in need of collision repair. H&M Collision will offer the highest standards in the industry using state-of-the-art equipment to complete each repair by the book, never compromising on quality and keeping your safety and satisfaction their top priority. When you need premium auto body services, trust H&M Collision where you're treated like family.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Bill Morgan with the coach Phil Tidrick. It's Claymont in New Philadelphia. Baseball today is a part of Gundy Days here at Tuscarora Park in New Philadelphia. Claymont got a pair on in the top of the first, but unable to capitalize. And now New Philadelphia will get their first opportunity of the day, doing so against the Claymont starter in Brady Fox. Fox only a sophomore, but kind of a lanky build out there on the mound, and we'll see how the Quakers handle their opportunities against him and how Brady handles his opportunities as an underclassman against a talented New Philadelphia team. And, Coach, you've been around longer than me. I'm not like a million gazillion years, but we were briefly joking with Coach Addison before the game. One of the ways you know you've been around for a while from a broadcast perspective anyway is that when guys that were playing when you first started doing this are now the head coaches, and that's the situation with Logan Addison at Claymont. I can remember when he was an athlete at Claymont, and now he's a head coach at Claymont.
Yeah, he was a good young man. From what I know out of him playing, coaching against him when he was a basketball player, and I know he played baseball as well and so forth. So, it's just one of those deals where that just means, Bill, we're just getting older, that's all. And it's good that the young guys are stepping in and picking up where some of us old guys, left off.
Braylon McBride to lead it off for the Quakers on a beautiful breaking pitch from Fox, and McBride offers and misses. Braylon has really been swinging the bat well as of late. Next pitch upstairs, out of the zone for a ball, 1-1. Not only doing well from the plate is McBride. More on that in a moment. Fox's next pitch stays upstairs, 2-1. But he had a big save last week in the Quakers' OCC win at Ashland, coming out of the pen to get that opportunity. A slow roller back to Fox at the mound. He fields, fires on to first base for the first out. That'll bring Quaker left fielder Carson Long to the plate. Carson, one of the 5 talented seniors on this team, honored in pregame ceremonies today. Strike.
He offered at it. It looked like he was kind of faking a bunt, and umpire called it a strike.
Carson hitting in that 2 spot where he's been for most of the season. Tyler Weisel coaching at third for the Quakers. Logan Moorhead at first. The 0-1 pitch fouls that, 0-2. Phil, it's very early, but obviously Fox, the sophomore, pretty comfortable with throwing his breaking ball.
Well, I've seen 6 pitches, and all 6 of them have been off speed.
Ball fielded and thrown not in time as Long beats it out down to first base for an infield hit. Nice job getting to the ball by Brayson Gray, and he uncorked a throw, but just not in time to get the speedy Long at first base.
That's one when you know you got to know your runners, and you know when you come up with it, you got to get rid of it quickly. And Carson Long, heck of a job beating out an infield hit.
That'll bring Owen Courtney, the very talented Quaker junior right fielder, to the plate. Hits it on a line drive, bounce past the shortstop. So the Quakers with a pair on as Long advances to second. Coach, do you score that a hit or an error?
Honestly, I'm scoring that an E. I thought it was hit right at him. I thought it should have been able to at least get the body in front, which is easy for us to say.
Now batting for
and
our seniors we are honoring today.
So that's probably how I'm ruling it, and we'll let the coaches decide how that goes later. They can make that decision themselves.
So the Quakers, like Claymont in their half of the first, 2 on with 1 out. Catcher Ethan Fair going to go out to the mound and have a brief discussion with Fox. Fox from the stretch with runners on. Keaton from that talented Fossil family. His older sister, a Division I soccer player. That ball popped up into short left field and falls in for a base hit. Hustling into third in time to get there. And, boy, that's a challenging situation because if you take off and you're halfway there and he catches it, you get doubled up.
Yeah, you're kind of between a rock and a hard place right there. And the shortstop did a heck of a job to try to go back and make it an over the shoulder catch. Would have been a really, really tough play.
Quaker DH Matthew Miser coming to the plate. Hitting for the catcher, Jack Range. So the Quakers threatening in the bottom of the first. Right now, the Quakers and Claymont scoreless, and Miser swinging and missing at Fox's first offering. Oh, and 1. Miser hits it from the right-hand side. When Matt's in the field, he'll be the first baseman. Fly ball into right field, backpedaling. The ball is caught, tagging, trying to score from third, and doing so on the sacrifice fly is Carson Long, and New Philadelphia strikes first, taking a 1-0 lead. Tagging and going from second to third on the play, Owen Courtney. Meanwhile, Keaton Fossil having to stay at first base. That'll bring the starting pitcher, Mason Catarina, to the plate. Trying to help himself out in terms of build an even bigger lead for the right-hander. Fox's first pitch to him, a called strike. Fox glancing at third. The 0-1 pitch popped up. Foul. Probably going to get out of play. So now the count 0-2. Coach, what was your theory as a head coach? Guys first and third, I know there's 2 strikes now, but do you start the guy at first?
I'm probably running him. You know, especially with 2 strikes. You know, especially with 2 strikes, you want to get the guy on the move.
A slow roller going to be fielded by the shortstop. The throw on to first in time, so certainly a nice play at short by Nolan McMorrow to retire the Quakers in the first. After 1 inning of play, New Philadelphia leading Claymont 1-0 here on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
Everyone stop what you're doing and listen up. Wendy's always crafts their hamburgers with fresh beef. That's just burger basics, people. The result? Hot and juicy hamburgers made fresh for you, not waiting for you. It's just like they say, the perfect hamburger waits for no one. 'Cause freshness doesn't do waiting. When it's made fresh just for you, gotta be Wendy's.
Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Not available in Hawaii.
High school baseball on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley, being brought to you in part by McDonald's. Whether you're looking for a quick bite to eat or a new career, our local McDonald's want to meet you. Download the app for big savings or stop in and fill out an application at McDonald's. Mason Caterina getting ready to go to work for the second time against the Mustangs. His Quakers got him a run, so the Quakers with an early lead as Logan Addison's team gets ready to come to the plate for their second go-round against the Quakes. Quaker softball up on the hill. They had a win yesterday on their senior day. Track and field taking place over to our left at Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium. A little further down the way, tennis.
Number 21.
And the first baseman, Nate Downing, going to lead things off for the Mustangs here in the second. Caterina's first pitch to him, a called strike. Coach Tidrick talking earlier on, the next pitch missing a little bit low for a ball, about the Quakers with that impressive 10-2 record. Maybe a little bit of a surprise, and that's probably the case. The next pitch, a called strike, 1-2 on with the absence this year of Sam Rufinoff, the talented lefty who is playing academy baseball down in Florida. So when you lose a player like that, the next pitch way inside, as you saw Downing jump back out of the way of that one. It's kind of hard to go on a run, but the Quakers have done just that. The next pitch chopped back up the middle. McBride scoops, fires on a nice play at shortstop for the first out of the inning. And I mean, every team clearly loses players, but in Sam Rufinoff, you're talking about a player who's signed a Division I baseball scholarship to go to Toledo.
That makes it kind of hard. That really does. But in high school baseball, just about every young man's a pitcher. You always find a pitcher or two, that maybe you're not counting on, that comes out and just does an unbelievable job for you. Maybe as a junior or senior, or even a sophomore. But, that's something that, that you want your kids to learn how to pitch. And I remember, one of the pitching coaches that we had here in New Philadelphia, Jim Bird, who played with me and then played with me at Ashland and then in the Class A League for years and years. And he was a pitching coach here for quite a while. And, the man knew how to teach pitching, and we always found a guy or two that really came on and pitched well, especially seniors who had maybe never pitched before but could throw the ball pretty good. And he turned them into pitchers.
So Caterina ahead in the count. 1-2 throws a breaking ball that Gray started to chase but tried to check his swing, and according to the umpires, did just that. So it's 2-2. On the right-handed hitting, Claymont, third baseman, the 2-2 pitch, that's fouled straight back to the netting behind home plate. I know Quaker baseball thankful today on Senior Day to have certainly one of the veteran voices of our area, Steve Kelly, pinch hitting on PA duties. As I normally do that for Quaker baseball, but I'm here to be play-by-play guy on the live video stream with Coach Tidrick. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The next pitch, Fouled into the dirt. It'll stay at 2-2. Not only Quaker baseball, I'm thankful for Steve doing that, but Steve's the guy who hired me at WJER. So the deal is, if you like me, you thank Steve. If you don't like me, you blame Steve. The next pitch, that's inside, and Gray is hit, so that becomes the second hit batter for the Mustangs to reach base, as catcher Ethan Fair did that, leading off the game.
Now batting for the Mustangs.
That'll bring their designated hitter, number 58, Heston Cranmer, to the plate. He's hitting for the right fielder today, Tyson Herrig. Herrig, one of the many right-handed bats in the Mustang lineup, swings and misses. Quaker catcher Jack Range fell a freshman, and anytime you talk about a freshman starting in a varsity sport, that's impressive, but especially when you're the catcher in baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of amazing, to be honest with you, Bill. But I had a little heads up on Jackson Range. He was my neighbor, and he'd always be hitting balls and stuff with his dad, Ryan Range, who's now the high school principal in New Philly and played baseball for me, and so it was pretty interesting.
Swinging and missing, and they try to get a strike him out, throw him out double play, but Gray gets in there just ahead of the tag. And, of course, Ryan went on to be a head coach of the Quaker baseball program. He took a team to a regional one year.
He did. He played in the regionals with us, and then took a team to the regional, and now he's hoping that his son gets a chance to take a trip to the regional.
Pitcher Brady Fox to the plate. Brady gave up a run, and I think, and this is more coaches' wheelhouse, I think that run ends up being unearned after the error back in the first.
I'd have to look at it again, I can tell you. I just have to look at it.
Catarina's next pitch hit up the middle. Nice play by McBride. Pulls the first baseman off the bag, but boy, a nice job by Keaton Fossil coming off the bag, making the catch, and tagging Fox as he goes by. After an inning and a half from Tuscarora Park, New Philadelphia leading rival Claymont 1-0 on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
Commercial building owners, how well do you keep your roof maintained? At Rightmark Roofing, we offer our Bullseye Maintenance Program to building owners to help keep you. Our 21-point inspection that examines all the essential areas of your roof that require year-round maintenance, a detailed report on the health and status of your roof, priority service that moves you to the front of the line, and discounts that reduce the risk of expensive repairs. Give us a call at 330-275-0088 or visit our website at rightmarkroofing.com to learn more.
High school baseball today from Tuscarora Park. I'm Bill Morgan with the coach, Phil Tidrick. We've reached the bottom of the second. For those who don't know, now for those who do, my advance apologies. It's a 7-inning game in high school baseball. Quakers got one in the first on a sacrifice fly off the bat to DH Matthew Miser that scored Carson Long. And they have the early 1-0 lead. For the Quakers, 7, 8, and 9 in Tyler Weisel's batting order. The second baseman, Kanati, the third baseman, Seth Bieber, and the center fielder, Max Steele, who's one of those situations you'll hear coaches say this, you'll hear media people say this, but Max Steele batting in that 9 hole is almost like a second leadoff hitter, because a lot of times you think, well, the number 9 hitter, how good is he really? He's hitting 500 on the year.
No, you do. That's what we call, when you instead of putting him maybe in 8th or something like that, you put him down in 9th, and you always say, well, you got a double leadoff, because usually that person could run a little bit, and so that's just something that one of those baseball jargons that go along with having somebody who's hitting well in that 9 spot, and also able to get some base hits and get on base.
Wind picking up, just about to blow Coach's notes 6 rows down from us. First 2 pitches splitting the difference, 1-1. Then Fox's 1-1 offering from number 1, missing 2-1. Kane celebrated his birthday a week ago Friday. Pops it up. The first baseman backpedaling and there to make the grab in fair territory, the junior Nate Downing for the first out. That'll bring the third baseman, Seth Bieber, to the plate.
Now batting for the Quakers, this is number 10, Seth Bieber.
Seth ready, looks out at Fox, and Fox's first pitch called strike at the letters on the outside corner. Both these teams back into conference play next week. Bieber hits it on the ground, there to grab it. McMorrow fires on to first to get Bieber for the second out of the inning. Of course, Claymont for a number of years now has been a member of the IVC after being in the now defunct ECOL with New Philadelphia, and the Quakers after the ECOL, they are in the OCC. Quakers currently leading the OCC, undefeated in conference play, 6-0 on the year. As Mac Steele, with that slightly open stance, comes to the plate. Fox's off-speed pitch missing for a ball. Mac shows bunt, pulls the bat back as the ball goes down to the dirt for ball 2. Misses outside, ball 3. After Steele, should he reach back to the top of Tyler Weisel's order, shortstop Braylon McBride. The next pitch, there's a called strike. What was your 3-0 theory as a head coach? Coach, guys always taking, dependent on the batter? What was your thought process there?
Well, it really depended upon the player, to be honest. If it was somebody who was on a hot streak and who I thought was seeing the ball real well, and I thought they were going to get a hit, then I'd tell them to go ahead and swing. But you got to be looking for one specific pitch on 3-0, and sometimes that's hard to do for a young kid. Well, it's hard to do for anybody, but it's really, I think, hard to do for a young kid.
Ball gets down in the dirt on the second pitch to McBride, allowing Mac Steele to advance to second.
Balls in the dirt, you got to consider that a wild pitch.
So Mac in scoring position. Now a ball loose at the plate and unable to quickly scoop it as fair. Now Steele 90 feet away from being the Quakers' second run. The count on Braylon McBride is sitting at 3-0. Braylon grounded back to Fox last inning, leading off the game for the Quakers.
Now, see, in this sake, I'd probably have him taking a pitch.
3-0 pitch and way inside, ball 4. So, and that's the uniqueness, really, of high school baseball. The first 2 guys pretty much easily retired. And then you walk, coach, back-to-back guys. Now they got him on first and third.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, you got one of your better hitters. Not that Braylon McBride's not a really good hitter. I didn't see his stats, but I believe he's up in the high 3s, if I'm not mistaken. And now you've got Carson Long, who obviously has been doing this for 3 years for Coach Weissel and his group. And so now you got first and third with one of your better hitters, and obviously you have your 2, 3, 4, 5 guys up in your lineup, and that's who you want to have up with people on base.
Carson reached on an infield single in his first at-bat and scored the only run so far for either team, the Mustangs or the Quakers. 1-0 the count on Carson. Fox ready, glances toward third. The 1-0 pitch, that's down in the dirt and easily stealing second. 2 runners in scoring position, and ahead in the count is Carson Long at 2-0. The next pitch, I don't even know how Long avoided getting hit by that as it sailed behind his back. It's 3-0. Should Carson reach, Owen Courtney, the 3-hole hitter, on deck, and that pitch, ball 4 down low and in the dirt. So the bases are indeed loaded. Back-to-back-to-back walks. Now a trip to the mound for the Mustangs and company as Owen Courtney comes to the plate. Owen reaching last inning number 1 on an error on the shortstop. And now a mini meeting all over the field. The Mustangs talking defense and pitching on the mound. The Quakers offense down the third base line with not only third base coach Tyler Weisel, but the first base coach and pitching coach Logan Moorhead there. So the Quakers trying to do some 2-out second inning damage.
That's too far to go from first base to third base as a coach.
Well, that's the difference between being Logan Moorhead's age and your age.
Good point. Logan was a good player for us. He pitched for us, played a little outfield for us. Back in the teens. I think about 2015, 2016, I believe.
And the pitch to Owen Courtney in the dirt. And a 3-sport athlete, including 2 sports in the same season. He played soccer and kicked for the Quaker football team. 1-0 on Courtney. The next pitch called strike on the outside corner. So the bases loaded with Quakers. Max Steele at third. Braylon McBride at second. Carson Long at first. Fox ready, more deliberate. The 1-1 pitch hit hard but foul down the third base line. One ball, 2 strikes. Are you going to be following the Cavs on your phone when that game tips off here in a little bit?
That would be a big fat no. I'm going to go home and watch it when this is over.
I see. The 1-2 pitch down low, 2-2.
Plus, what's really nice about it is you don't have to watch any commercials when you DVR.
There you go.
Just zip right through.
Watch out. Commercials pay our salaries.
Maybe
not the Cavs commercials.
I get that. Well, they don't pay us any. I haven't got anything from them yet. No.
The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch, that goes all the way to the backstop, and Max Steele started down the third base line, but you know what? That grass is slippery. The dirt is slippery, so Max said, I'm going to hang on right where I'm at. The count now full on Owen Courtney.
They're going to be running. Base runners will be on the move. Max Steele will be running out in foul territory at a really slow pace coming from third because you never know because Courtney Owen does pull the ball a little bit.
Throw back to second base, and they pick off the runner at second, McBride, to end the inning. A big play by the Mustangs to dig themselves out of trouble. After 2 innings of play, New Philadelphia leading Claymont 1-0 on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
Dumont Sporting Goods in Dover and Canton has just what you're looking for, so your athlete has the best gear for the sports they play. Dumont's has a large apparel selection and can handle your customized screen printing as well as embroidery for your team or business. For sporting goods and for all your apparel needs, Dumont Sporting Goods in Dover and Canton has everything you want to play and look your best.
High school baseball on the Big Z Sports Network, and the sports voice of the Valley. What are you laughing about over there, Coach Tidrick? Well, here's the good news. A close game between these two backyard rivals. 1-0, New Philly getting their run in the first on a sacrifice fly that scored Carson Long off the bat of Matthew Miser. And the Quakers nearly inflicted some second-inning damage with 2 outs. They had the bases loaded, but a big-time defensive play as pitcher Brady Fox for Claymont picked off Braylon McBride at second to end the Quaker threat. So Claymont comes to bat here in the 3rd inning.
Leading off in the 3rd inning for the Mustangs, top of the order,
Ethan Fair, the catcher, against
Fair.
Mason Caterina, takes a called strike. He was hit by a pitch. Leading off the game back in the 1st inning was the Mustang catcher. The 0-1 pitch, a little bit low for a ball. So a close game so far between visiting Claymont and the Quakes.
Yeah, the Quakes ran themselves out of an inning last inning with that pickoff play. So,
got to get things done right in baseball, even the small things, and not so that time. And I'm sure there either was or will be a discussion between Coach Weisel and Mr. McBride.
I'm sure there will.
Especially with them being 1 pitch away from walking in a run. The 2-2 pitch grounded to McBride at short. Fires on to first base for the first out in the 3rd. Yeah, it's one of the signs of a good player, though, after Braylon got picked there in the bottom of the 2nd. First pitch, ball finds him. He scoops it, throws him out at first. What do they say? The ball doesn't lie. And that usually true in just about every sport.
That is correct.
If that was still in Braylon's head, he might have booted that, might have made a bad throw to first, but did what he had to do as Claymont's left-handed hitter, Connor Hillier, comes to the plate, and first pitch swinging, fouls it off third base side.
I'm sure he feels worse than anybody.
Oh,
there's
I think,
absolutely no doubt.
Right, Coach, and I think that's the thing people forget sometimes.
Oh, he feels worse than anybody for that because he knows he made a mistake, and that's just part of the game.
The 0-1 pitch down in the dirt, 1-1. Hillier in his first at bat popped out to the shortstop. Speaking of Braylon McBride. Hillier ready, Caterina ready, and the pitch off the plate. Ball 2. Two, 1. That ball, a slow roller down the first base line. Caterina's going to grab it, fire around to first, not in time. Great hustle by Connor Hillier. What do they say? That's one of those 25-foot base hits.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you betcha.
Now batting number 11.
That just was in the perfect spot. You know, and Hillier has good wheels, and he was able to beat it out.
And with all the rain we got last night, that grass, wet, slow. As Braylon Mullen comes to the plate, Braylon takes a strike, second baseman for this Mustang team, 6-10 on the year. The ball popped up but out of play. Did you run down there and get us a couple of hot chocolates between innings?
I might. I might. I'll go down and see if they have it.
If I give you a couple of bucks,
I think I could probably handle it.
Sharon gave you your allowance. The 0-2 pitch, and that ball fouled back. I mean, you know you're in a good relationship with Coach and his wife, Sharon. She drops him off 15 feet from where he had to sit, then she left.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
well,
wow.
I figured there wasn't going to be a parking spot out here, and I didn't want my 07 to get hit.
0-2 the count on the talented Braylon Mullen. Bats number 3 in Logan Addison's batting order. Smashes it down to Coach Addison in the third base coaching area and past Coach. Do you score that an E on Coach Addison? Should he had that?
I didn't see it.
You know what that is? That is a great politically correct answer.
Well, there was quite a few balls that you kind of let pass when they mash them down there, Except when you're really young, then you think you can catch them. Then you're.
This is the voice of experience over here.
That's right. Then you want to make sure that you don't show anybody that it hurts. So you can't shake it or rub it. You just got to stand there and smile.
Katarina with the 1-2 pitch as Rain sets up inside. A swing and a miss. The throw down to second base, not going to be in time. So 2 outs in the inning. Hillier in scoring position.
Nolan McMorrow, number 12, now batting.
As the shortstop for the Mustangs, Nolan McMorrow coming to the plate. Katarina ready and fires a pitch. It's just off the plate, apparently, for a ball. Quakers got a run in their half of the first. Neither team has scored since at this point. That ball smoked down the left field line, but easily foul. So the guards are playing 2 today, Coach, and with the way the Major League Baseball rules are now, they get to call up an extra guy. Both teams do. Usually it's a pitcher.
Nick Casey and that's his last name. I couldn't begin to tell you his first. I forgot. I read the article today.
The ball rolled to McBride at short, fires onto first in time to get McMorrow hustling down the first baseline and in the Mustangs' third inning. After 2 1/2 at Tuscarora Park, New Philadelphia leading Claymont 1-0 on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
Spring and summer bring big events, graduations, yard sales, and tournaments. The Educational Service Center Print Center is your go-to for sponsor banners, yard signs, and custom graduation packages with invitations, envelopes, and thank you cards. And when it's time for sports, the ECO Center in St. Clairsville is the perfect venue for AAU and JO tournaments. With spacious seating, plenty of parking, and easy access to hotels and restaurants, it's your one-stop arena for wrestling, cheer, and more. Plan your next event with us on the court or in print. Find out more today online at ecoesc.org.
Thanks for joining us for high school baseball today on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley. As together we partner with Claxon Communications to bring you this live video stream. Our great supporting sponsors include Right Mark Roofing, Dumont Sporting Goods. And boy, the folks over at Dumont's did a great job. Got a couple of Big Z Sports polos. And they look so good, they almost made me look good. ECO, don't say anything, Coach. ECO, Educational Service Center, and the Keim Home Center. Yes, Doug Clark can occasionally work a miracle over there.
Boy, he's a good guy. He's been doing that for a long, long, long time.
And doing it well.
Oh, absolutely.
Number 22, Owen Courtney.
Owen Courtney, who was at the plate when McBride got picked off in the second. And I was in when I ordered those shirts as the first pitch to Owen, missing for a ball, the 1-0 pitch, called strike at the letters, talking to his daughter Julie, and she was quite the athlete at Dover. And I said, one of the ways that that you guys do such a great job is you've been around for a long, long time. 1 million people over the years have tried to make shirts and jerseys and sell sporting goods equipment, and most of them are now delivering pizzas or something like that. But they have been in business for so long, as people know as Clars, and there was a change in ownership. Then Doug took things back over and running it under the Dumont's name now, but doing it so well for so long. The 2-2 pitch upstairs for a ball.
Yeah, he takes care of the local people for sure in sporting goods.
The 3-2 pitch, line drive, falls in for a base hit into center field. So Courtney's been on base in both of his at-bats, reached on an error in the first inning, now on a leadoff single here in the third. Owen, the number one pitcher in terms of he will pitch in the first conference game every week. Today, playing in right field, his normal spot in the field. Keaton Fossil at the plate. Down in the dirt, and nice job behind the plate by Ethan Fair of stopping it. 1-0. Keaton in his first at-bat singled, but was left on base back in the first. Keaton, another one of the 5 seniors being honored today on Senior Day. And boy, he's been quite the athlete at New Philadelphia. 3-year starter at quarterback, multi-year starter in baseball. Line drive, base hit into left field. So on Senior Day, one of the seniors in Keaton Fossil, 2 for 2. So Keaton at first, Courtney at second, nobody out. That'll bring Matthew Miser to the plate. And
our next batter,
in this 1-0 game, Matthew, yet another senior, the only RBI on his sacrifice fly to right.
I'm just guessing. I think Coach is going to have him getting the bunt down and getting those guys in the scoring position. Shows you how much I know, though.
That's why he's now broadcasting instead of coaching. Called strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Miser ready in the box. Fox looking back at Courtney at second as he and Fox kind of hit a staring contest. You could see Owen kind of bluffing. Is he going to take a bigger lead? Is he going to go? The next pitch popped up into short center field. Drifting in. Hillier makes the catch, and now 2 outs. 1 out in the inning. So Courtney has to stay at second. Fossil has to stay at first. And that'll bring Quaker pitcher Mason Catarina to the plate.
Again, apologies to the Catarina family as I butchered their name last time around. I apologize for that.
Throw to second, and that sails into center field as they try to pick another runner off second. And fortunately for the Mustangs, Courtney, who was headed back to the bag, unable to advance despite the errant throw. Mason trying to do some Quaker 1-out damage in the bottom of the third. Courtney a pretty big lead off second. The pitch, fly ball into fairly deep left field. Going back at the wall, that is gone! Mason Catarino with a 3-run bomb to left. And the Quakers have expanded that lead from 1-0 to 4-0 on the Catarina blast to left field. Quaker teammates coming out to congratulate the senior. Well, Coach, that's a good way to spend Senior Day, hitting a 3-run blast to left.
Yeah, that will definitely make your day. No question about it.
Number 15, Kane Oddie.
The second baseman, Kane Oddie, to the plate. Fox's first pitch to him, breaking ball for a strike. Kane popped out to first in his first at bat. Leading off last inning. Hits the ball into right field for a base hit for Cainati. Kane, only a sophomore, getting significant playing time for the Quakers. So the Quakers, 5 plate appearances here in the third, 4 base hits, 3 singles, and a home run.
Our next batter is
sandwiched around the flyout to center field. That'll bring the junior Seth Bieber to the plate. Seth playing the hot corner. Swings and misses. Grounded out to shortstop. And his first opportunity against Brady Fox and the Mustangs. Fox ready, the pitch missing, the throw down to second, not going to be in time. So credit the stolen base to Cainati and another Quaker in scoring position. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out on the Quakers. Fox's next pitch outside, ball 2. High school baseball on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley. Being brought to you by the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency and our longtime partners at Subway. Find your fresh. According to that wonderful newer scoreboard on the field, it's allegedly, by the way, as Bieber takes ball 4. And I think we're going to see a pitching change here because with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters having come to the plate for the Quakers, yeah, we will see a pitching change and some position changes.
That's usually how that works.
Well, we will take a timeout. And when we come back, we'll try and reset all of that for you right here. New Philadelphia leading Claymont 4-0 on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
Join us at Keim Home Center in Charm for Customer Appreciation Days, April 7th through 12th. We're celebrating our customers all week long with giveaways, gift card drawings, woodworking demonstrations, and refreshments. Save 10% on appliances, lawn and garden tools, housewares, and so much more. Don't miss our free pancake and sausage breakfast Friday and Saturday morning. Visit KeimHome.com or follow us on Facebook for more details. We'll see you April 7th through 12th for Customer Appreciation Days at Keim Home Center in Charm.
The new pitcher for Claymont, the big tall right-hander, Jackson Jinks. 10th grader who began the game in left field. And I think what we're going to see is Braylon Mullen go to left field. Meanwhile, the pitcher, Brady Fox, probably going to second where Mullen was. We will, again, check that all in a moment, but the Quakers have things offensively chugging here in the bottom of the third. They've scored 3 times on the Mason Catarina 3-run homer. And still 2 guys on. Cainati's at second, Seth Bieber's at first, and Max Steele coming to the plate. I mean, that would have been a perfect opportunity for you to go to the concession stand and check on that hot chocolate situation.
I just was thinking about that.
Too late to think about it now.
I missed it. Yeah, I was slipping a little bit.
Indeed, that's what's happened from a defensive perspective. The pitcher Fox now at second. And Mullen went to left to take the place of Jackson Jinks, who's now pitching. Jinks' first pitch high for a ball. Max Steele. Again, that slightly open stance left side. The 1-0 pitch down in the dirt and low. Now, only 1 out. That's probably one of the most important things to remember if you're a Mustang or a Quaker fan. So Jenks trying to slow this Quaker rally here in the third. Jenks ready. The 2-0 pitch way inside ball three. Good job that time by Claymont catcher Ethan Fair, kind of sliding a little bit to his right to stop that ball from bouncing back to the backstop. 3-0. Steele looking at it, Jenks, who now comes set. And the pitch, a called strike to throw down to second base. Nowhere near in time. Adi easily back. 3-1 on Steele. The pitch, slow roller. Fox going to field it at second, throw on to first in time to get the second out. But the runners each move up 90 feet. Adi to third, Bieber to second, 2 outs in the inning. Now, Phil, were you done as the head coach in basketball when Chase Steele was playing in the basketball program?
He played maybe a year for me. And then he played for, I think, Coach Spurgeon.
Braylon McBride hits it to third. The throw to first going to pull the first baseman off the bag. So that will allow Adi to score from third. The Quakers to get another run on the board on the errant throw. Now the reason I bring that up, as Carson Long comes to the plate, runners at first and third, Quakers.
Yeah, he's in his residency now to be an orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah, he's an orthopedic surgeon. Long swinging and missing.
Maybe he'll have to take care of us at some point in time and fix up our knees or whatever we got that ails us.
Now that's impressive. So there
I
you
would
go.
I would go to him. I trust him that much.
0-1. That ball chopped to third. McMorrow will field, though on to first, in time to retire Long and the Quakers, but New Philadelphia doing some damage in the third inning as they put 4 on the board, highlighted by Mason Catarina's 3-run home run. After 3, New Philadelphia leading Claymont 5-0 on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
Hi, I'm Zach Motice with the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. For all your auto, home, farm, and business insurance needs, contact our team at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency or stop in and see us at one of our 3 locations in downtown New Philadelphia, Sugar Creek, or in Strasburg, providing excellent service to the Tuscarawas Valley since 1885. Everyone here at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency would like to wish all area athletes good luck this season.
3 innings in the high school baseball books at Tuscarora Park in New Philadelphia. Gundy days. And New Philadelphia leading Claymont 5-0. Now, did you show up at the Tuscarora Park Pavilion and get your pancakes and sausage this morning, Coach?
I did not.
What?
I'm wishing I did.
This is a news bulletin.
I'm kind of hungry right now.
Well, that's
this is something that the Quaker Club puts on, and I just want to mention a little bit about the reason it's called the Gundy Days, and it's named for a man by the name of Leo Gundy. And for us old-timers who know who Mr. Gundy was, he was a very instrumental person. He was a contractor. He was a person who donated all the labor and a lot of the material that went into the locker room at Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium. And he did so much for the student athletes in New Philadelphia that we had an idea that, we needed to come up and do something to honor him. And this is the way that we came up with honoring Mr. Leo Gundy, and that's by having Gundy Day at Tuscarora Park with all New Philadelphia athletes participating in a day here at a beautiful Tuscarora Park.
New Quaker pitcher here in the 4th inning as Seth Bieber on the mound. He comes to the mound from third base. Jackson Jinks, now the pitcher, batting and takes a strike from Bieber. His 0-1 hit off of Bieber's glove, hustling, grabbing the ball. McBride not going to be able to make the throw in time for an infield base hit. So with the Quakers having the change on the mound as Bieber went from third to the mound, Kane Oddie went from second to third to take Bieber's spot. Mason Catarina, who had been pitching, went to short. And Braylon McBride, who had been at short, goes to second. Nate Downing at the plate, first pitch swinging, lines it into left field for a base hit. So the Mustangs doing some damage of their own here in the fourth. Downing now 1 for 2. His first at bat against Catarina, grounded out to short. That'll bring Brayson Gray to the plate. Gray reached base in the second inning, his only at bat so far when he was hit by a pitch. So the Mustangs trying to climb back into this one, right now down 5-0. Bieber's pitch bounces in the dirt to the backstop, and advancing to third, Jinks to second, goes Downing on the wild pitch. Bieber from the stretch with the 1-0 offering, called strike. One ball, one strike. As we work.
Infielders are back, Bill. I'm sorry. The Quaker infielders are back. They're going to give up a run for an out.
Bieber going to throw back to second, throws it into the dirt, into center field, and easily scoring from third base on that errant throw was Jackson Jinks of Claymont. And the Mustangs have their first run of the afternoon. Staying at second, Downing, who had that nice rip into left field. And now we're going to have a pinch runner out at second base. Bieber trying to work his way out of some fourth inning trouble. That pitch high and inside. Ashton Cox out running at second for Downing. 2-1 on the Mustangs' third baseman, Brayson Gray. That pitch missing out of the zone. And for those who may not be aware, some are not, they have the reentry rule in baseball, so that does not mean because he was pinch run for that Nate Downing is done for the afternoon. More than likely he'll be right back in there at first base in the bottom of the fourth. The next pitch, upstairs, ball 4. So Gray reaches on the walk.
Our next batter for the Mustangs.
And that'll bring their designated hitter, Heston Cranmer, to the plate. Quakers leading 5-1. Bieber's first pitch to Cranmer, who struck out in his first at-bat. Outside of the zone for a ball. Now the Quakers going to call for time. Pitching coach Logan Moorhead out to talk things over with Seth Bieber and the rest of the Quaker infield, which has changed in its own composition. The pitcher, Mason Catarina, went between innings, went to short. Kane Oddie, who had been at second, went to third, and Braylon McBride, the junior who had been at short, went to second. So it's Cox out at second. Brayson Gray at first with the walk. Bieber's next pitch inside for a ball. Now, quite often you'll hear fans or whomever say, all you got to do is throw strikes. Well, sometimes that's easier said than done.
Oh, it's easy for everybody who sits in the stands to say that.
That's right. When you're drinking your hot chocolate or your coffee, the 2-0 pitch, that's inside ball 3. So watch Major League Baseball. You see the best of the best sometimes. They can't find the plate, and they're being paid millions. Bieber comes set. His 3-0 pitch called strike. Set by his normal position, a third baseman for this Quaker team. The 3-1 pitch called strike 2. Cranmer doing the one thing that umpires tend to not be a big fan of, get ready to toss that bat aside and run down to the bag.
Yeah, the old saying is anything close, he better be swinging.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Bieber ready, and the pitch. Fly ball, left field. Carson Long tracking it near the left field line. He'll make the catch, get it back into the infield. So Long, a nice job, ranging to his right toward the line, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Now, Phil, will be interesting to see if that helps Bieber to settle down a little bit now on the mound, that he's got an out.
Yeah, it definitely helps. It's all about a confidence thing. You lose your confidence to throw strikes, and then all of a sudden you start getting in a groove, and your confidence is back.
Well, to bring Brady Fox to the plate began the game as the Mustangs pitcher grounded out in his first at bat, but that was against Mason Catarina, taking a pitch from Bieber out of the zone for a ball. Bieber will make a throw to first, easily back safely as Brayson Gray. 1 ball, no strikes. Dancing off first base, Gray there. Cox out at second, trying to bunt, but bunting it foul is Fox. Now, Fox is the number 9 batter in Logan Addison's lineup. After him, back to the top of the lineup with Ethan Fair. Fair has reached base so far 1 time in his 2 at-bats when he was hit by a pitch, leading off of the game.
I think he was trying to bunt for a base hit, to be honest with you. The first baseman was back.
A swing and a miss. The breaking offering. Fired down to first base. Not in time. Closer play, to be sure, as the freshman Jack Range let it rip. And Keaton Fossil applied the tag. But Gray beat it back to the bag. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bieber ready. Glancing now. Does Seth towards second. And the 1-2 pitch, high, ball 2. And if you're watching with us on the Big Z YouTube page or WJER.com/videos, the 2-2 pitch popped up high in the infield. That's the infield fly rule. So the batter out. And you say to yourself, well, why does head coach Tyler Weisel take a pitcher out who hasn't given up any runs? Well, a couple of things going on. Not every game's important. This is not a conference game, a weekend game. And sometimes you simply want to get some other guys' experience out on the mound. And Mason also pitched the other day in relief in the Quakers' victory here at home over Ashland. So don't want to wear anybody out.
Got a bunch of games probably next week as well. A bunch of important league games next week as well. So you want to try to keep your guys as fresh as possible.
No question. And they're in, again, something that our hardcore fans realize, but there's a pitch count. If a guy throws so many pitches, then he'll have to miss a day. If he pitches more, 2 days. Back at the top of the Mustangs lineup now. They've scored 1 in this inning. And Ethan Fair now way ahead in the count at 3-0. Bieber ready with runners at first and second. Was that Mr. Shalosky?
That was Mr. Shalosky.
God bless B.J. Shalosky and everything that he stands for. He just brought us hot chocolate over here.
Oh, I love him. Yeah, he is now the custodian in charge of the Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium for New Philly Schools.
There you go. The 3-1 pitch, a swing and a miss. Now my favorite New Philadelphia School District employee, B.J. Shalosky. Bieber trying to get out of fourth inning trouble, the 3-2 pitch. Down low, ball 4. I saw his lovely wife, Courtney, earlier today at the pancake breakfast. She was there. You weren't.
I didn't make it. I feel bad about that, too.
It would sound really strange as Connor Hilliard comes to the plate. Mustangs trying to add on to the one they've already scored in this inning, and Bieber fires a strike on the inside corner. Shockingly, Philip Tidrick, Courtney Shalosky, and I have something in common, which doesn't seem to be believable at all on its surface. The 0-1 pitch from Bieber. Fly ball, way back into right field. On the run, a great running grab by Mac Steele to end the inning. Boy, that's one of the reasons he's in center field. A talented glove. Mac makes the grab to end the inning, but Claymont does score once after 3.5 innings. It is New Philadelphia leading Claymont 5-1 on the Voice of the Valley.
Subway refreshed their ingredients, then their menu, and now they're slicing their meats fresh. That means fresh sliced turkey, fresh sliced ham, and 2 new Deli Hero subs. Try the Titan Turkey and Grand Slam ham, each piled high with double the cheese and more meat. Order your new Deli Hero sub with freshly sliced deli meats today, and be sure to try all the subs on the refreshed Subway Series menu. Subway's tastiest menu upgrade yet.
High school baseball with a non-conference variety today with the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley. I'm Bill Morgan with the coach, Phil Tidrick. Quakers had 4 runs in their half of the third, led by a Mason Catarina 3-run homer to left. Claymont answers with 1 in the top of the fourth. Now we'll see if the Quakers can rebound in their portion of the fourth, but back to the wonderful Shalosky family. Husband, dad, BJ bringing us hot chocolate between innings. And I was mentioning that I saw his wife, Courtney, at the pancake breakfast here at Gundy Days. And yes, she, Mr. Tidrick, and I have something in common. No, we're not all good looking. One of us is, and it's not Phil or I. But Courtney and Phil and I are on the park board together.
Yep.
And I am the all-time worst-looking secretary of anything, business-wise, public boards-wise, followed closely by the pinch-hitting secretary, Phil Tidrick. That's where you wrote me in early on. I don't know how long you'd been the secretary. Somehow I end up being the secretary. I don't know how that happened.
Well, because I was tired of writing. And plus, they can't decipher what I write.
Quakers up the bat in their half of the fourth. As the Quakers begin the inning with a 4-run advantage, Jackson Jenks on for his second inning of work as Owen Courtney leading things off. Leading off is Quakers right fielder for the second consecutive inning after the Quakers sent 9 to the plate in the third. And Owen taking the third straight pitch. It was out of the zone. Jackson Jinks his 3-0 pitch, low and outside, ball 4. So Owen has now reached base in all 3 of his at-bats in 3 different varieties. A single, a walk, and reached on an error. That'll bring Keaton Fossil to the plate. Keaton today 2 for 2 with a run scored. He was one of the 3 Quakes that scored on Katarina's 3-run blast. The throw to first base bounces in the dirt all the way over, and easily getting to second is Courtney, and he's going to try to get to third. Here comes the throw, not going to be in time. So the 2-base throwing error puts a Quaker 90 feet away from regaining the run that Claymont added on in the top of this inning. Jinx's pitch, line drive, and that's just foul, and I mean just foul, probably by about a width of the baseball down the left field line. So if I get a Cavs score update, am I allowed to say it?
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, I thought that you wanted that to be secretive.
Oh, that's smoked.
A long fly ball to left center field going back. That's going to go off the wall. Trying to get to second and doing so with a stand-up RBI double. Keaton Fossil. What a day for Keaton. 3 for 3. An RBI, a run scored. And the Quakers up 6-1.
He smoked that ball. He really did.
That'll bring 5-spot hitter Matthew Miser to the plate. Matthew, the DH. Jinx's first pitch to him. Low and outside. Miser had the first RBI of the game back in the first on a fly ball to right field that scored Carson Long. Lifts a short fly into right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit and stick in the grass. Keaton Fossil advancing to third. Miser to first. And normally, maybe Keaton scores on that play. You got to hang up, though, try and make sure that ball's not caught. And you get doubled up. And that'll bring Mason Katarina to the plate, who hit a 3-run homer in his last at-bat. First pitch to him missing outside, and they're going to throw the ball down to second. Now hung up is Miser trying to score, and the throw to home plate in time. Boy, nice work in the field by the Mustangs. And a base-running faux pas by the Quakers leads to Fossil being tossed out at the plate, and Miser getting to second. So,
their catcher, Claymont's catcher, Ethan Fair, has a pretty nice gun back behind the plate.
Katarina sees a pitch down low and in the dirt for a ball. Mason today, 1 for 2. We mentioned that homer, 3 RBIs. I got a scoring rules question for you, Coach, in a moment. Quakers up 6-1. Jackson Jinks, the young sophomore, glancing out towards second. That's where Miser's at. The 3-0 pitch to Katarina, a called strike. They're going to throw the ball back to second. Miser back safely. Okay, so if the Quakers, and there's a ways to go in this ballgame, if the Quakers were to win, Katarina having pitched 3 innings, can he get the win in this game? The next pitch outside, ball 4.
By technical baseball rules, no. But I think in high school sometimes, if they go, I'd say if he would have went 4, definitely for sure he could get the win. I'm not sure how a lot of baseball coaches do it. If it's, if it's a 3-inning, he pitches 3 innings and give any runs. I'm not sure how they could possibly give him the win, but it's possible. The rules have changed.
As Kane Oddie comes to the plate. Kane singled and scored last inning in that big 4-run Quaker frame. Count even on Kane against Claymont Jackson Jinx at 1-1. The next pitch, breaking ball and a called strike. I've never understood. It's just been the way it is. And we're talking about Major League Baseball. But if a guy goes, you have to, as the starter in the MLB, you got to go 5 to get the win. Oddie hits the ball off the glove of a diving shortstop and into left field. The Quakers will score as Miser comes home to make it 7-1. Now we're going to see another pitching change. But anyway, and we'll update you on the new Claymont pitcher in a moment. But in Major League Baseball, so if you go 4 1/3 or 4 2/3 and your team's ahead, you still can't get the win no matter how the game finishes out. And I've never, other than that's the rule, but then a guy who comes in and pitches a third of an inning, he can get the win. I've never understood that, the logic in it.
Well, whoever wrote the baseball rules of baseball,
Abner Doubleday,
would be deciding on how that's supposed to be done. And it's pretty amazing, really, if you ever sit down and look at a baseball rule book, and you look how thick they are, and there's all kind of rules and crazy stuff that probably a lot of the fans have never witnessed or seen.
Correct.
During their time of watching games, even for old timers like me, who's been around baseball forever, since I was six years old, that you kind of, you kind of see all kind of quirky things happen, from triple plays to different types of triple plays and things like that, and so. I think the person who obviously Doubleday, who come up with the rules of the game was just way ahead of his time, because they really haven't changed much up until recently with the pitch count and things like that, which I really like.
That'll bring Seth Bieber to the plate, and now into pitch for Claymont, Braylon Mullen. He's playing his third position of the game. Braylon began the game at second base, went to left field on the first pitching change of the day, and now is the pitcher. 1-0 to Bieber, low and outside, 2-0. I mean, not that anybody asked me if the rule is fair for starting pitchers, but as many Guardians games as I listen to or watch every year, like when there's not a Guardians game on a weeknight, I don't know what to do with myself. Bieber fouling a pitch down into the grass and stays foul on the third base side.
Yeah, you're looking for things to watch, because my wife and I, God love her, she loves to watch sports. I mean, she sat down and watched the NBA games last night that were on, and was kind of bummed that we didn't had the Indians that were rained out. So.
Well, she'll get double the opportunity today.
Well, we're not sure. Like I said, we got some plans this afternoon with with our youngest granddaughter. So, chances are,
Bieber picks up a walk, so Seth will go down to first base. Oddie to second, and Mason Catarina to third. That'll bring Max Steele to the plate, so Bases loaded, a 7-1 Quaker advantage. Bottom of the fourth inning. Quakers having already tallied 2 in the fourth. Mueller's pitch, a called strike. Mullen, a junior, for head coach Logan Addison and company. The 0-1 pitch, a slow roller, and quickly bouncing foul, first base side. Max Steele has reached on a walk today and grounded out to second base. Came into the game today. 13th game of the season for the Quakers after they were rained out Friday night, hitting .500. There's a line drive into center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. One Quaker run will score. That makes it 8-1 on the Max Steele RBI single. So Katarina scores. Adi goes to third. Bieber to second. Well, this doesn't happen too often, what I'm going to tell you after this pitch. Ball outside from Mullen. But Braylon McBride batting for the 4th time in 4 innings. He's the leadoff hitter for the Quakes and has reached base 2 of the 3 times, fouls 1 off. Braylon has reached on a walk and reached on an error. Well, Braylon would love to tag one here and kind of offensively make up for getting picked off of second base earlier. 1-1 the count now. And that ball bounces in the dirt, and the Quakers going to all stay where they're at. Adi at third. Bieber at second. Steele at first. McBride having, from a defensive perspective, started the game at short, now playing second. 2-1 the count on Braylon. Mullen ready, his pitch. That's hit hard to third. Well, he's going to have to run. That's 1 out, and the throw to first not going to be in time. Now the Quakers are going to try and score a run. Bieber dashing to the plate. He will score. And the Quakers now, wait a second.
That's a fielder's choice.
I thought he stepped on the third base bag.
He did not.
He did not?
He did not. Nope.
Now, my apologies. I thought he did.
No, he did not.
So the Quakers get 2 more runs there as Katarina scores. Bieber scores. Steele goes to third. And they don't get an out. And that'll bring Carson Long to the plate. Mullen ready, and his 1-0 pitch to Long. Fouled. So, for our diehard baseball guys and gals watching, does Braylon get RBIs on that play?
Braylon would
get 1 RBI?
Get 1 RBI on that play, yes, that is correct. He got an RBI because the guy from third scored.
He would have scored
and anyway. It would have been a fielder's choice, so he had a time at bat, but he did not get a base hit. He reached on a fielder's choice.
Runners at first and third, only 1 out. The count on Carson Long, 1-1. Carson's reached twice in his 3 at-bats, and he hits a long but twisting and foul fly ball to left. Carson would score the Quakers' first run of the day after he reached on an infield single in the opening inning and would score on the Matthew Miser sacrifice fly. Quakers up 10-1. Mullen ready on the mound. A 1-2 pitch, and that hit him right in the head. Wow. Well, fortunately, Carson appears to be okay. He will head down to first after being hit by the pitch.
Thank God it wasn't a Nolan Ryan fastball.
I'm not real sure his helmet's okay.
Might have broke it.
He's headed back toward first base. Coach Moorhead and Coach Weissel came over from third base to check it.
Steely going to probably have to do a little bit of work to see if he's okay. Because I think, anytime a player gets hit in the head with a pitch, et cetera, I think you've got to check them and make sure they're okay, which he seems to be okay.
But for the second time in as many innings, the Quakers have batted around, with Long being reached, getting hit by the pitch. Running for him at first base will be Cameron Wright. And that'll bring Owen Courtney to the plate for the second time in the inning. 10-1 Quakers, and that breaking ball stays way high. Didn't break, essentially. 1-0. Bases loaded with Quakers. Wright, the runner, at first. Braylon McBride at second. Max Steele at third. Owen today having reached base in all three of his bats. A long fly ball to right field. That ball's going to bounce in and go all the way to the fence. That should clear the bases. A couple of Quakers scored. They'll stop Wright, the pinch runner, at first. Quakers now up 12-1 on the two-run double by Owen Courtney. So the Quakers up 12-1. And now going in to run at second base will be Jackson Norris. So it's an 11-run Quaker advantage as number 11, Keaton Fossil, comes to the plate.
Keaton Fossil for the Quakers.
Muellen's first pitch to him fouled into the dirt at the plate. Coach, take this opportunity to explain the 10-run rule that could end up going into effect here in the next inning.
What it is, it's in a high school baseball game, softball game, that any time that the home team is.
Fossil hits it. That's a fair ball. 1 run will score. Quakers trying to get a second run to score, and they will, as Keaton Fossil has been on fire today. That is Keaton, second and third RBIs of the inning, and his second hit of the inning, and his fourth hit of the game.
Okay, so any time that the home team has a 10-run lead at the end of 5 innings of play, could be 4.5, where the visiting team gets the bat, and like in this game, it's 14-1. Claymont will come up in the top of the 5th, and if they bat and do not get enough runs to take the lead under 10 runs, this ball game will become an official baseball game, and so.
It is a 13-run lead now. The Mustangs are going to change pitchers once again. The center fielder, Connor Hillier, is going to come in to pitch. And because it was kind of chilly, and really still is, when this game started, I think he had on like a long sleeve T-shirt under his uniform shirt. He takes that off before throwing his warm-up pitches. He is a lefty. So he's going to get his warm-up tosses in. The Quakers still only have one out in the inning.
You know, this is the type of weather right here, Bill, that I just cringe when you bring a guy who's been standing out there for 9 runs to score, and then he comes in and you give him 8 pitches to get loose.
And Coach, I heard you, not to interrupt, but I did, but you were kind of talking about that when you did the Indian Valley and New Philly game down in Jandayton, because that happened, I know, a couple of different times in that game for each team.
It does. You know, for anybody who's now young kids, I get it. You know, they're real resilient and they get loose a lot faster than older people. I get that, but still, you know, you're coming out and I realize it's close to 50, 51, maybe something like that. But the wind's blowing, wind chills in the 40s. He's been standing out there for a half hour, hasn't thrown a ball, and now all of a sudden he got to go in, make 8 pitches, and be ready to pitch to a live batter. And I just, you know, I know you're trying to speed things up and all that, but I'm just not quite sure I understand that so much.
If you were the czar of the OHSAA and you could instantaneously change that rule, how many pitches would you give him?
That would probably depend on the weather and how long that kid's been standing out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's been standing out there for 9 runs. I mean, he's been standing out there for 20, 25 minutes. And so now, you know, you've got a situation now that, shoot.
Matthew Miser, number 9, batting.
Matthew Miser coming to the plate for the Quakers. We are in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Quakers having plated 9 in the frame. Hillier's first pitch missing high and for a ball. Fouled into the dirt. A ball and a strike. Hillier getting ready on the circle. And the pitch missing out of the zone. Ball 2.
But to me, you know, anytime you do that kind of stuff, it's like anything that goes with athletics. You know, to me, the safety of the players, of the young men, has got to be something that is, to me, is first and foremost. Not about how quick you can get done with the game. It's about the safety of these young men or women that are out there that are playing for their schools and under not so ideal conditions.
Miser going to head down to first. The second goes Keaton Fossil, with Hillier having come in to pitch from center field for the Mustangs. The young man who had been pitching, Braylon Mullen, went to center. For Mullen, from a defensive perspective, he's now playing his 4th position of the game. Started at second, went to left, came in to pitch, now in center. As the Quakers' Mason Catarina comes to the plate. Walked in his other at-bat in this inning. The next pitch, high for a ball, so it's 1-1 on Catarina, whose afternoon has been highlighted by 3 solid innings on the mound and a 3-run homer to left. The 1-1 pitch outside, ball 2. Hillier trying to help his team in what has been a challenging 4th for the Mustangs. They're down 14-1. The 2-1 pitch called strike on the outside part of the plate. So Catarina has walked and scored, hit a 3-run homer, and grounded out to shortstop. Hillier's 2-2 pitch, high, ball 3. Fossil is Out at second base, Matthew Miser for the Quakers at first. The 3-2 pitch. Fly ball into center field, and that ball's going to fall in for a base hit. Quakers are going to stop the lead runner. Fossil at third. Miser goes to second. Katarina with the single, and the bases loaded with Quakes again. And the center fielder, Braylon Mullen, probably normally is not in center field, so he got a late break. And by the way, the footing out there is not the best, in fairness to Braylon, and so that ball falls in. And
yeah, if you're playing outfield at Tuscarora Park right now, hopefully you have a couple of, you bring about 3 or 4 pair of socks and a couple of pair of shoes.
The first pitch pops out of the catcher Fair's glove with Keenati at the plate.
He's had 2 hits in the game, 2 singles, and a stolen base in this game with scoring 2 runs.
Had a single and an RBI earlier in the inning. You know what? I was already thankful that B.J. Sholowski had brought us a hot chocolate. Now I really am.
Yeah, I'd like another one.
Beggars cannot be choosers. The 2-0 pitch to Adi. Kane pops it up, foul out of play near the first base dugout for Claymont. Oh, one of the things I guess that's challenging maybe is the right word to believe, there's still only 1 out in the inning.
Yeah.
The Quakers have scored 9 times. And Adi is the 14th batter in the inning. They'll get 1 to second, the throw back to first. And they called him out at first base. So that was a double play to end the inning. But the Quakers score 9 times. So as we head to the 5th, the Quakers up. It is New Philadelphia 14, Claymont 1 on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
This is Christine from Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, your trained comfort specialist located in downtown Dover. In the dead of winter or the dog days of summer, we're here for you 24/7 with friendly, personal attention and honest, affordable service. And right now, our customers will receive a free duct cleaning with a qualifying system. Call me for details. So if you've been considering installing a new HVAC system, now is the time to act. Call me, Christine, at 330-343-5511. Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, your comfort on call since 1981.
This is Nathan Kemp with Kemp Insurance. Contact us today for all your auto, home, farm, and commercial insurance needs. We're proud to have been your local hometown agents for over 35 years and look forward to helping you see the difference local agents can make for you. Kemp Insurance on East High Avenue in New Philadelphia.
This is Don Kemp with Kemp Insurance. Whether it's repair work from a fender bender, the after effects of a powerful storm, or a life-changing moment like a house fire, Kemp Insurance is here to provide unmatched customer service. Kemp Insurance, your local hometown agents for over 35 years.
High school baseball as a part of Gundy Days with the New Philadelphia schools at Tuscarora Park in New Philly. The Quakers, after an explosive 9-run 4th inning, leading this game 14-1. Claymont, the opponent today, and until that bottom of the 4th inning, a relatively close game. The Quakers had a 5-1 lead. And now with the 10-run rule, Claymont needs to score 4 times for this game to extend. Logan Addison, the head coach, headed down toward third base.
Leading out for the Claymont Mustangs will be number 11.
The center fielder, Braylon Mullen, will lead things off against Seth Bieber. Seth on for his 2nd inning of work. Mullen has gone 1 for 2, singled and struck out. Braylon's played 4 different positions, began the day as Claymont's second baseman, would go to left on the first pitching change, then he would come in to pitch, then on to center field. The 1-1 pitch to Mullen. Low, ball 2. Bieber ready. The battery made is catcher Jack Range. That ball popped up. Hustling in, diving, and that is a foul. No, they say fair ball. I guess when he dove, he touched it, apparently in fair territory. Now Tyler Weisel's going to go check on his pitcher. Because despite all that activity, had Seth not touched the ball, and I'm not sure that he did touch the ball.
He did. Well, from my point of view, he didn't touch the ball.
And if
should have been a foul ball.
Right, if he did not touch the ball, then it's a foul ball. Now, if he touches it in fair territory, it is a fair ball.
Well, I don't know. He must have had a better look than us from over at first base. We're about the same distance away.
Did the infield umpire call that?
That's it. Well, actually, anything before the base would be the home plate umpire. So,
the shortstop Nolan McMorrow to the plate. Pitch to McMorrow, a called strike. Was out on the infield fly rule in his first at bat back in the first and grounded out to short. Bieber's next pitch hit hard but foul down the left field line. I guess one of the crazy things about sports, you sit there and go, well, if they don't score 4 runs, this game's over. They've only scored 1 so far. But you know what? The Quakers put 9 on the plate in the bottom of the 4th inning. Maybe they score a bunch of runs here. Quakers hoping not, Mustangs hoping so. The 0-2 pitch popped up. That's foul and out of play. I might get somebody's car over there. No, it did not. My car is parked closer to us, so I knew it wasn't going to get my. You know what? More importantly, that's my wife's car. So if I get that thing hit.
That's why I had the wife bring me out.
Yeah. Well, you're smarter than I am, but that's not necessarily anything to brag about. The 0-2 pitch, boy, that is hit a long way, but foul.
Nolan McMorrow looks like he swings the bat well. He's got a cannon for an arm. Pretty good shortstop. Pretty good high school baseball player.
The 0-2 pitch, that's hit high in the air. Carson Long giving chase a long way. Did he catch that thing? And they say he did. What a play. And well, and you know what? I'm not sure the home plate umpire thought he was still in play when he caught it. And I'm not saying that he wasn't, because the home plate umpire looked to the infield umpire, and he didn't say anything. And
he should have. The runner at first base should be at second base because he caught the ball, carried it out of play.
As Jackson Jenks comes to the plate and hits it foul and out of play, and
at least that's my understanding of it. When you catch a ball in play and go and carry it out of play, the runners automatically advance.
Jenks reached on an infield single in his last at bat, flies it into right field, right at Owen Courtney. Correction, I believe we have
Jackson Norris is who that is.
He makes the catch in right field.
21, Nate Downing now batting for the Mustangs.
So now 2 outs in the inning. And Jenks, in flying out, who mentioned he reached on an infield single, but then he scored, would have been Claymont's only run of the game. That ball fouled and
it's close.
Out of play. Oh, 0-1 on Nate Downing. Downing reached in his last at bat. That pitch hit Downing. Well, if there's one thing Quaker pitchers need to work on, they've hit a number of bats. I think that's the 3rd hit batter today.
Yeah.
Mason Catarina hit a couple. So Downing will go down to first.
Number 24, Grayson Gray.
That'll bring Brayson Gray to the plate.
He's officially has no trips to the plate with a hit pitch and a base on balls.
Mustangs needing 4 runs here in the top of the 5th right now. They're down 14-1, 2 outs, 1-0 as Gray takes the pitch inside from Bieber. Seth ready, and the 1-0 pitch, high ball 2 off the glove of Jack Range, and that's going to allow both runners to advance. As Mullen makes his way down to third, Downing goes to second. And now we will see another pinch runner for Claymont. Going out to second base will be Jaden Hunt. So Gray looks down at head coach Logan Addison in the coaching box. Gray ahead in the count, 2-0. Beaver ready, and the pitch, low ball 3. Now, should this game get extended after the top of the 5th inning, Downing will not be able to go back in as he's already used his re-entry. Beaver ready. The 3-0 pitch, high, ball 4. So the bases now loaded with Mustangs.
Now batting for the Mustangs, number 58.
That'll bring the designated hitter, Heston Cranmer, to the plate. That ball hit the third. It'll be fielded and hustling to third and stepping on the bag to end the ball game, Natalie. So the Quakers win in impressive fashion today as they down Claymont 14-1. Our post-game show is coming up right here on the Big Z Sports Network and the sports voice of the Valley.
Family owned and operated for more than 50 years, Dover Brake specializes in sales and service of everything involving automotive and heavy-duty brakes, along with a vast selection of truck parts and accessories. They also offer alignment, custom U-bolt bending, industrial sandblasting, bonding, and more. And now, you can find the parts you're searching for with a complete in-store inventory updated regularly at DoverBrakeInc.com. Safely shop and pay online and have your purchase delivered, or pick it up at Dover Brake, Route 250 in Strasburg, online at DoverBrakeInc.com.
H&M Collision is conveniently located just off the boulevard in Dover and invites you to experience their unmatched customer service the next time you're in need of collision repair. H&M Collision will offer the highest standards in the industry using state-of-the-art equipment to complete each repair by the book, never compromising on quality and keeping your safety and satisfaction their top priority. When you need premium auto body services, trust H&M Collision, or you're treated like family.
Everyone stop what you're doing and listen up. Wendy's always crafts their hamburgers with fresh beef. That's just burger basics, people. The result? Hot and juicy hamburgers made fresh for you, not waiting for you. It's just like they say, the perfect hamburger waits for no one. 'Cause freshness doesn't do waiting. When it's made fresh just for you, gotta be Wendy's.
Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Not available in Hawaii.
New Philadelphia continuing their winning ways as they knock off Claymont today, 14-1. The Quakers winning on Gundy days here at Tuscarora Park in New Philadelphia. And the Quakers will be back in action midweek play back to the OCC. And happy to be joined by winning head coach Tyler Weisel. And Coach, this game was a challenge even getting it started. Probably some shout-outs to the folks here at Tuscarora Park for getting that field ready.
Yeah, man, the park guys are awesome. Jan Herron, Adam Fulton, those guys over here, they're awesome. They're out here early, helping us out. Without them, we'd be sitting at home right now probably eating bonbons, watching basketball or something. So, yeah, big shout out to those guys.
Coach, talk about the way your team played. I suppose it starts anyway with Mason Catarina, who gave you a solid start on the mound. And, oh, by the way, a 3-run homer.
Yeah, first of his career, man. I just ran past Mom and Dad and said, good time to do it on senior day. So happy for him. Yeah, as of late, Man, we've been rolling pretty good. We've been playing really good team baseball. We're moving the baseball. We're really good situationally right now. I'd have to go back and look, but the amount of sack flies we've had over the past week and a half is a great number to see. So it's an exciting time to be a Quaker right now.
Coach, obviously your team with the win improving to 11-2 on the season. What do you like best from what you're seeing from your team right now? And where do you want the guys to grow headed toward the end of the regular season and into the tournament?
You know, coming at this time of the year, we're about halfway through. It's just about being consistent every day. It's showing up. It's ready to work. It's ready to get after it, whether it's a game, whether it's practice. And it's coming with energy. You know, we roll 6 days a week. We take Sundays off, but, you know, if it's sunny out, we're outside. So it comes down to just having energy every day to come out and be the best for your teammates and have fun doing it.
Or if it's not sunny out, you come out.
Or if it's not sunny out, we got to come out with energy also and put some runs up. So you're exactly right.
Coach, we're talking with New Philadelphia head coach Tyler Weisel, his team a winner over Claymont today. How challenging or not challenging, Coach, is the off-field part of what you do? You guys had a game scheduled up in McKinley and a nice opportunity to play at Munson, but that game got rained out. But you guys had to go up there. You had to come back. And, oh, by the way, you had to be back over at Tuscarora Park, not only for baseball, but for pancakes this morning.
Pancakes, yeah. You know, that's it's just not X's and O's. And you can ask any coach in any sport. I don't care what it is. The admin side of it's tough. It's hard. You know, I don't lose sleep over many things, but I lose sleep over the weather. I lose sleep over, you know, what's JV going to do if we get rained out? What are we going to do with this game if we get rained out? Are we going to play? Is it too cold? What's the field look like? And we got a great staff at New Philly with Tim Fortney as our AD, and like we talked about earlier, the park guys. They alleviate a lot of the pressure. They alleviate a lot of the stress, and it's great to have good people in your corner. And being here in Quaker country, we got a lot of great people in these guys' corners.
Coach, we mentioned it's the 14-1 win, and I guess one final question, just a quick preview ahead. Who's on your OCC schedule this week?
We got we got West Holmes and Worcester coming the next 2 weeks. We're in the teeth of it. West Holmes, we beat them a couple years ago to our first district title game. There's always a little bit of a rival there with those guys just because we got them in the district title game at Sandy Valley. Worcester, I don't know. I think they've won the OCC 3 out of the last 4 years or 4 out of the last 5. A lot in a short amount of time. We got to bring it every day. Our starters on the mound have been awesome. Our team ERA is just incredibly sickening low, and our hitters are coming to their own. So we just gotta be consistent. We gotta show up every day. We gotta be ready to work, and we gotta be ready to put our feet in the ground and battle.
Coach, we appreciate you joining us after the game. Congratulations to you and your team. One more question. I lied, Coach. Tell us about your 5 seniors.
Man, my 5 seniors. On Thursday we had our spring sports luncheon, and the one thing that I talked about the most about them is that they're just great kids. They're good human beings. They're fun to be around. They're excitable. They smile at you. You know, they come to work. They may not say a whole lot all the time, but they lead by example. I mean, without our senior group, we would be nothing right now. And you know, all 5 of them being starting lineup and all 5 being dudes for us is a blessing as a coach. And when you see guys as freshmen, this is what you want. You want them to be in the lineup every day. You want them to win that spot, and you want them to continue to win that spot every day. And that's what these dudes do. They don't take it for granted. They know they got to show up and they got to perform, and they got to work hard, and we do that really well.
Coach, we appreciate it. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
New Philadelphia head coach Tyler Weisel will take a final timeout on the post-game show. Come back and run down you some of the scores from the game today. It's some of the stats, from the game today, and tell you more. It's all coming up on the Big Z Sports Network and the Sports Voice of the Valley.
Dumont Sporting Goods in Dover and Canton has just what you're looking for, so your athlete has the best gear for the sports they play. Dumont's has a large apparel selection and can handle your customized screen printing as well as embroidery for your team or business. For sporting goods and for all your apparel needs, Dumont Sporting Goods in Dover and Canton has everything you want to play and look your best.
moments are coming. Are you ready? If you need sponsor banners, graduation programs, or yard sale signs, the East Central Ohio Print Center has you covered. Visit ecoprintcenter.org. And if you've got a new driver in the house, East Central Ohio ESC offers flexible driver's education with in-car training and online options. Scholarships are available from signs to steering wheels. The East Central Ohio Educational Service Center is here to help. Find out more today online at ecoesc.org.
The Eat Fresh Refresh just won't stop. Now Subway is refreshing their catering with easy order platters and box meals perfect for any occasion. Start with sandwich or wrap platters. They're loaded with craveable crowd pleasers to feed your crew without all the work. Or try individually packaged box meals featuring a tasty 6-inch sub, footlong, or wrap, plus chips and a freshly baked cookie. When you have a group to feed, make it fun, delicious, and easy with catering from Subway. Visit Subway.com to place your catering order. Advance notice may be required.
New Philadelphia knocking off Claymont 14-1 today to pick up their 11th win on the season. And Subway, one of our great sponsors of high school athletics with Big Z Sports and the sports voice of the Valley. And Phil, when you're fortunate enough to put 14 runs on the board, boy, kind of hard to pick just one guy. And certainly Keaton Fossil on senior day, 4 hits. He did a great job, but we're going to go ahead and, I guess, give the nod to Mason Catarina, who did a solid job on the mound and hit a 3-run blast to left field.
I agree. You know, and it was one of those ones I heard Coach Weissel say the first homer he's ever hit in his career, and it happened to come on senior day and on a blustery Saturday afternoon at Gundy Day, one of the premier days for the New Philadelphia baseball team. And I'm going to give him the win on the mound. I don't know what the heck what the rules say, but I'm giving him the win. He only gave up, I'd have it written down, Mason gave up, pitched 3 innings, gave up no runs, 2 strikeouts, 0 base on balls, hit a batter, 41 pitches. So, that's a good day. And he had a 3-run bomb for his first career home run, drove in 3 runs. You know, Keaton Fossil, who had 4 for 4. You had Owen Courtney, he went 2 for 2 with 4 ribs. You know, we had all kind of people we could have give that to. So that was a good choice. That was a good choice, Mason Catarina, Subway Player of the Game.
So congratulations to Mason, and thanks to the Fitzgerald-owned Subway restaurants in our area here in New Philly. They're down in Yorksville and Claymont Country, Dover, all across the area. Subway, find your fresh. Coach, go ahead and give us some key stats on both sides today.
Okay, key stats. For Claymont on the day, you didn't have anybody with multiple hits, but you had Nate Downen. He had a hit. You had Jackson Jenks had a hit. You had Braylon Mullen had a hit, and also Connor Hillier had a hit for the Mustangs. For New Philadelphia, you had obviously Keaton Fossil went 4 for 4 with a couple of ribs with a double. You had Owen Courtney, who had 2 doubles, scored 3 runs, had 4 ribs. You know, you had Matthew Miser, who had a hit and the first RBI with 1. You had obviously Mason Catarina went 1 for 2. Went 1 for 2. 2 for 3 with 3 ribs, 2 runs scored, a home run. You had Kane Oddie, who had 2 hits on the day. You had Seth Bieber, who had a hit on the day, scored a run. You had Max Steele, who had a hit with a rib on the day. Carson Long had a hit and scored a couple of runs. And you had Braylon McBride, who ended up with a run and a ribby on the day. So you had a lot of Quakers there. You had Seth Bieber, who came in relief of Mason Catarina. He went 2 innings pitched, gave up 3 hits, 1 run, had a couple of base on balls, and threw 37 pitches, in his 2 innings. So all in all, good day for the Quakers. And, Coach Weissel and his group, they've got things rolling, and, you can't ask for anything more than that.
New Philadelphia with that victory, improving to 11-2 on the season. Our thanks today to Claymont head coach Logan Addison for giving us lineups and stats and things along those lines. New Philadelphia head coach Tyler Weisel. The great team from Claxon Communications, Jacob producing today, helping us out there. And, of course, my thanks as well to my color analyst and stat guy, Phil Tidrick. And most of all, thank you for watching today. New Philadelphia knocking off Claymont 14-1. I'm Bill Morgan, and I'll see you at a game.
High school baseball and softball with Big Z Sports and WJER Radio in partnership with Claxon Communications is brought to you by Dover Break, your local Wendy's restaurants, Dover Philly Heating and Cooling, Kemp Insurance, the ECO Educational Service Center, T-County Boxing Academy, and Dumont's. Special thanks to our scoreboard sponsor, your local McDonald's restaurants, and to Subway, sponsor of the WJER Subway Player of the Game. Now let's go live to the field for all of today's play-by-play action. Here are your announcers.